Hello everyone. In this video, we'll speak about arrow functions. We'll discuss how they differ from anonymous functions and what features and limitations arrow functions have. We'll also consider several examples in practice where it's possible to use arrow functions. Let's start. Arrow functions, also known as short closures, were introduced in PHP 7.4 as a more concise way to define anonymous functions. They are particularly useful for small, simple functions. If you compare the anonymous and arrow functions, you notice a strong similarity in structure. The difference is that an arrow function can only have one expression in its body, while an anonymous function can have multiple expressions and calculations before returning a result. So, the arrow function provides a compact way to define functions with a single operation without the need for the function word and return statement. The arrow function receives parameters, executes the expression, and returns the result after calculation. Let's see for one example that includes using the arrow function. What do you think the value of the variable x will be equal to after the execution of the code? The correct answer is that the value of the variable x will equal 1, but not 2, because arrow functions cannot modify values from the outer scope. Remember that because this will help you to avoid bugs in the future. For example, when you decide to change the value of a variable from outer scope inside an arrow function. To change the value of a variable from the outer scope inside the arrow function, you must use reference. In this case, the value of variable x increases for 1 and equals 2. Arrow functions in PHP provide a concise and convenient syntax for defining anonymous functions with a single expression. They find uses in various programming scenarios. An arrow function is used for defining a condition of array filtering. For example, we have an array of integer numbers. We need to filter it by certain criteria. For example, we need to filter it so that only even numbers remain in it. Even numbers are numbers that are divisible by 2 without a remainder. We'll use a built-in PHP function called arrayFilter, which filters the elements in an array based on a user-specified callback function to filter the array. This function creates a new array containing only those elements of the original array for which the callback returns true. We pass an array of numbers as the first parameter and a callback function as the second parameter. In the result, we have a filtered array containing only even numbers. Another example of using an arrow function is converting array elements. For example, we have an array of names and we want to convert names into uppercase. To do this, we'll use the array map function, which takes as the first parameter a callback function, then will be applied to each array element that we pass as a second parameter. The arrow function applies this to upper operation to each element of the array. In the result, we have a converted array containing names in uppercase. Arrow functions can be very useful for creating conditional expressions in code. Therefore, they are most useful for simple and lightweight tasks, where the compact syntax and limited capabilities are not a problem. So, that's all I wanted to tell you about arrow functions. I hope you found this helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in my other videos. Bye bye.